I'm David Feldman, and this is the mop-up for April 8th, 2023. Judge Clarence Thomas is an old, dear friend of mine, and he's very upset tonight about this article that's in ProPublica. So, as a personal hospitality to my friend Clarence Thomas, I offered him some time on my show because that's what dear friends do as a personal hospitality. And I began to talk to him, and he is spitting angry about this article in ProPublica. And I said, Clarence, I am your friend. And as a personal hospitality, I don't believe you should come on the show to set the record straight. Instead, write something out. And as a personal hospitality, because that's what dear friends do, I will read your statement on the show because I have a feeling that you'll go off script and say things that you'll regret. So as a personal hospitality to my dear friends, Clarence and Ginny Thomas, I would now like to read a message, a statement from Judge Clarence Thomas in response to this article that is in ProPublica. So this is a statement from Judge Clarence Thomas. It reads, Harlan Crow has been one of my dearest friends for as long as I can remember. Those who think Harlan only likes me because of the legal favors I could perform simply don't know Harlan Crow. Up until recently, Harlan didn't even know what I did for a living. He thought Supreme Court Justice was my first name and Clarence Thomas was my last. Harlan likes me and I like him. That's all there is to it. He's the yin to my yang. We both enjoy expensive gifts. I receiving them, he giving them. And they weren't even gifts. I, Clarence Thomas, would never accept a gift. These were personal hospitalities. Am I supposed to disclose every personal hospitality extended to me by a friend? My neighbor, Larry, gave me his old chainsaw last year. Should I disclose that? The waitress at the Olive Garden didn't charge us for a refill on my soda. Should I disclose that? Harlan Crow flies me on his private jet to an all-expense-paid vacation at his resort in the Adirondacks, where he gets me talking about the inner workings of the court so he can invest accordingly. I'm supposed to disclose that too? Where does it all end? Look, I'm a public servant, and as a public servant, I totally get it. I get it. That sacrifices must be made for the privilege of sitting on the highest court, which is why, when I took this job, I gave up repeatedly asking female underlings out on dates, no matter how often they insisted it made them uncomfortable. I also agreed to stop following female coworkers into the ladies' room without consent, to show off my photographic memory by describing in precise detail the Brazilian nun porn I watched the night before. I even dialed back my witticisms, foregoing my Noel Coward-like bon mots, like asking attractive female coworkers if that was a pubic hair on their Diet Coke. I gave all that up for the court. But I never agreed, nor would I, to becoming a casualty in the radical left's war on Christmas by refusing gifts. I'm sorry, did I say gifts? I meant personal hospitalities. I would never accept a gift. That would be wrong. Did I accept $500,000 in free travel each year from Harlan? Yes. And I will do so again this year because Harlan is a Christian, and I have no right to interfere with any man's religious freedom to be generous. Hey, if I knew these trips were valued at $500,000 each, I'd go on The Price is Right. I just accepted them. It never occurred to me to say, "This is a fantastic private resort, Harlan, and your free meals are incredible. What would it run us if Ginny and I decide to stop being your friend and instead go out of pocket?" You don't ask how much a personal hospitality is worth. Read the Bible, specifically the hospitalities of the Magi. The baby Jesus in the hospitalities of the Magi, the baby Jesus accepted the gold, frankincense, and myrrh from the 3 wise men, but never once said, "Can you ballpark what all this would go for on the open market, in the name of full transparency?" Didn't happen. Never said it. And let's clear something up immediately. Harlan isn't giving me hospitalities because I sit on the Supreme Court. I know this guy. He'd hospitality me if I were an appellate court judge or even a municipal judge. Harlan likes judges. Some billionaires who own luxury resorts invite artists, musicians, or chefs to come visit. Harlan prefers offering judicial residencies. At his resort, his guests are encouraged to learn the joy of judging by watching me judge things like how fresh the salmon at lunch was or how cinematic that last sunset turned out to be. Because I get paid to judge, I'm always amazed at how little your run-of-the-mill weekend judge with no hopes of ever going pro actually knows about judging, especially when it comes to judging the difference between a French Merlot and one from the Napa Valley. I wish more people could spend time with me at these resorts just watching me judge things. They would gain a keener appreciation of how hard it is to sit on the Supreme Court. Harlan and I get along so well because we're not jealous of each other's immense talent. He's not envious of my great judging skills, and I'm not envious of his innate gift to find just the right personal hospitality to keep me coming back to his resorts. Now, some accuse me of liking Harlan simply because he's wealthy. Honestly, up until this story broke in ProPublica, I had no idea that Harlan was a billionaire. I swear, I never think about what people are worth. I figured he was a multimillionaire. Turns out he's a billionaire. Doesn't matter to me. And by the way, the hospitality giving was a two-way street. Yes, his personal hospitalities given to me were in the neighborhood of $500,000 each. But my personal hospitalities given to him were the act of showing gratitude for his personal hospitalities to me that were in the neighborhood of $500,000 each. That's what dear, dear friends do. They exchange personal hospitalities. For example, I remember waking up Christmas morning last year on his super yacht, anchored off an Indonesian archipelago. Sitting on my nightstand, I noticed a gift-wrapped, mint-condition Patek Philippe watch cast in rose gold. It was a personal hospitality from Harlan Crow. Knowing that this watch was only one of two in existence, I wanted to give Harlan a personal hospitality of equal value. I thought long and hard, how do I reciprocate? And then it hit me. I would wear the new watch at dinner. I wish I could wear the look on his face that night around my wrist. But I guess I'll just have to settle with the $700,000 Patek Philippe watch instead. I'm David Feldman, and in just a few minutes, we're going to be doing office hours. Please join me. Tonight's office hours, if you're watching this live on YouTube, tonight's office hours will feature comedy writer Colleen Worthman from The Daily Show, The Nightly Show, the Mark Twain Prize. Come meet Colleen Worthman, and comedian Leah McEnany. And then we have Professor Adnan Hussein and the Reverend Barry W. Lynn. We may do an episode of The Professors and Marianne. Come to office hours right now if you're watching us live. The link, the Zoom link, is in the description of this episode. I would love to meet you. And it's about 90 minutes, and we'll be taping an episode of my podcast. Please like this video. Please share it with your friends. Happy Good Friday to everybody. Happy Ramadan. Happy Passover. Happy whatever. Happy not believing in God. I'm David Feldman, reminding you to stay strong and protect the weak.